to come, and I'm going to give very short, very quick, but hopefully incredibly powerful words of Torah. We are about to read from Parshat Behar, which means on the mountain. Guess where Moses is? On the mountain. We're in the book of Leviticus. God is still relaying all of the instructions. And one of the instructions tonight that we are going to hear is the call to have a jubilee. There's math involved. 7 by 7 is? And what day of the Omer is it? It is not the 49th, but 32. Well done. Which means tomorrow is Lag BaOmer, which means it's a Jewish year since I passed a kidney stone, because I only pass kidney stones on holidays, and last year got to be Lag BaOmer. Go figure. Anyway, that's not what the Dvar Torah is. A couple of weeks ago, it was Yom HaAtzmaut, and the day before is Yom HaZikaron, and the few days before that was actually Yom HaShoah. And something happens in Israel that is incredibly powerful. At a certain point during those days, the sirens will go off, and everybody stops and gets out of their car, comes out of the stores, and just stops. Everybody, everywhere, even if they're in the middle of the highway driving, everybody in Israel stops to hear that sound. Last week, we were at Nathaniel's graduation from high school. And there they are calling the proud graduates, and a light appeared in the northern sky. Now, it wasn't a star. It was a rocket. And they had to actually stop the graduation because so many people turned to look at this spectacular sight in the sky of this rocket being launched that we could see there. Think about those two moments, both of them sensory experiences that captured people's attention so much that they stopped to pay attention more. Two more of those moments. How many of you have been to Jerusalem? Wow, that's pretty good. Tell me about the noise levels of Jerusalem. It's loud. People speak by car horn. Bah, bah, bus. We must have been living on a bus line, if that's my memory. Jerusalem is loud. It's busy. It's cacophonous. Isn't that a great word? Okay? It's loud. Tell me about Jerusalem on Yom Kippur. Dead silent. There is so little traffic on the streets of Jerusalem, they turn off the traffic lights. The contrast of the everyday noise with the absolute silence of Yom Kippur of that city is so incredibly powerful. I contrast that with the experience of Elijah. Where was Elijah? He was on Mount Sinai. He was quite literally Behar. What does it sound like if you're alone on a mountain in the wilderness? Pretty quiet. But what did Elijah, Eliyahu Hanavi, experience on the mountain? He experienced an earthquake. What noises are with earthquake? It's loud. There was a whirlwind. Loud. There was fire. There was thunder. There was lightning. Every loud noise you could imagine is shaking the mountain. And how did God's voice appear to Elijah in that moment? Kol Damama Daka. A small, still voice. A voice as thin as a reed. God's voice was the silence in the midst of that cacophony. In the midst of all of that noise, Elijah had to listen through all of that noise to hear God's silent voice. I give you all of these different moments of both noise and light and sound and silence, because in our Torah portion this week, there is a call for the Jubilee year, that in the 50th year, on the 10th day of the 7th month, what holiday is the 10th day of the 7th month? You're close. Rosh Hashanah is on the first day of the month. Yom Kippur. Yes, Rosh Hashanah is in the 7th month. You'll have to see my class on time to explain that. It's Yom Kippur. And on the 50th year, you're supposed to call the shofar in your communities so everybody stops to to declare the Jubilee. I am not sure in our day and age it would be easy to get a noise or a silence that would get us to all stop together. It's a challenge of American culture. It's a challenge of our world. But if we can't do that even once every 50 years, my hope is that you start being aware of those noises that catch the attention, whether it's you, whether it's a few people with you, whether it's a room full of people or a stadium full of people. Start being aware of those sensory experiences, whether they are the loud ones or the silent ones, the ones that are in contrast to what you expect, that get you to stop, to pay attention, and connect with the divine. With that, I ask the cantor to come forward as we prepare for the reading of Parshat Behar. Please rise.